And this is episode, who cares? I lost count.
Five. Cinco.
Okay, when we get to 10, I'm not counting anymore. That's just it's ridiculous. You knew what number it was when you clicked on it, damn it. Or at a certain point, do I need to stop labeling those? I don't know. But this is the Press Play Podcast. My name is Ian.
And I'm Seth.
And today, oh boy.
This is a big one.
This is a big one, yeah. All the other ones, they were much love, maybe a little bit of hate, during that indie podcast. But this one's really going to hit home.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I plan on giving this series what it deserves.
Yeah, because, there's, if you don't know what we're talking about, then you obviously don't listen religiously because we tell you what we're going to be talking about next week on every episode. We're doing The Matrix.
Ooh, buddy.
Oh, boy. This is...
All of them.
You sure you want to do this?
I'm positive.
All right. Oh, man. So... little bit of pre-warning. Yes, some parts of the Matrix are definitely going to get their comeuppance, but don't think this is just going to be a hate fest because there's a lot of good that can be said about this particular franchise.
I agree, but I still look forward to ripping some things apart here.
Yeah, and you know what they're going to be. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, there should be no illusions to anything else.
So, before we get started, I don't know if we have any really announcements, no nerd news, because trust me, I looked. And
I did too.
It's been a very quiet couple of weeks in the pop culture world, which is actually kind of surprising.
Yeah, just mainly news confirming other things that happened before and wrapping things up, and it's just we don't need to get into it again. So.
Yeah, really, the biggest thing that I saw was it was about the Joker or whatever, and how it got like an 8-minute standing ovation from critics, which sounds like a lie. Maybe
it's that good.
I haven't stood and clapped for 8 minutes for shit in my entire life.
Not for 8 minutes.
There ain't nothing on this planet that's gonna make me stand there for 8 minutes and just keep clapping my hands. I've seen Metallica live, and I quit clapping after 10 seconds. All right, great song. Next. What's the next one? And then they went off stage. Everybody claps for about 2 minutes tops, and those people are weird.
8 minutes.
8 minutes, my ass. It's a movie. Okay.
So, The Matrix.
So let's rewind the clocks. Go back to 1999, I believe.
1999.
This little movie came out that when I first saw it, I was 9, maybe 10. Didn't get it. Did not. No. I didn't fully understand this movie until well into high school, and it became one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater when I was 19. Yeah, mm-hmm. 19 years old. We saw it in the theater, and it was probably, until that point, my greatest theatrical experience. Because everything was just so... You never seen anything like it before.
Right. Yeah, this is one of the good things. Like, The Matrix definitely... It changed cinema in a way that, like, at least sci-fi... I would say
sci-fi and action,
because just think about how many parodies of The Matrix there were immediately following this movie.
Everyone was paying homage to this film. It seemed for years, up until 2006, 2007. Maybe. It was still a popular little thing to do in movies, but it started to wear thin and overstayed its welcome a little bit, but. The story is basically pretty simple. It's a premise we've seen before in sci-fi that our world isn't real, right? And we're living in a simulation of some kind. It's never been done with computers, not that I know of. That being said, the veil in this movie is very thin, and I like that. They don't get really deep into it. They really don't. There's not a whole lot of philosophical discussion and jargon blurting out the mouth like in the other two movies.
Yeah, because that's what I like more is that it doesn't. It treats you like an adult, and it doesn't try to overcomplicate things. And it's like, listen, this is what's happening. We explained it to you. Let's get to what you want to see, and that's guns and kicking and all that crap.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I like about The Matrix itself is that, very simple story. They give it to you maybe 30 minutes in, and then we get to the good stuff.
Yeah, and talk about what a marketing campaign. What is The Matrix? Everyone wanted to see this movie to find out what it was.
I vaguely remember that, and I have memories of
it was
this movie.
in the infancy of the internet. You didn't get a whole lot of information. It was a mystery when you went in. When you found out what it was in the theater, you were like, "Oh, okay, we're going here."
All right, that's pretty cool. And I do love this movie started out so wonderful.
Yeah, it did.
Because you don't know anything at all. You get the green screen, and Trinity's talking to some guy, and we don't even know who Trinity is at this point. And they're talking about this guy who's supposedly the one. And then the agents show up, and dude, I can't think of anything that I hate Hugo Weaving in.
No, me either.
Like, the man is just, he's so wonderful.
He is. He comes in and chews the scenery, and he brings effing dipping sauce, man.
So he shows up to take it because that these just from the very beginning, these agents are somebody either important or they're somebody very, very bad, because the police are afraid of them, almost, kind of. And he's like, I sent 2 units, and as soon as he says, "No, Lieutenant, your men are already dead," I was like, what am I watching?
I know, right?
What is this movie?
And then the next thing you see is her kicking ass and floating in the air, and you're like, what is going on? You don't know who to root for or anything.
No, not at all. And it's the scene happens so quickly. It's like the fight scene takes about maybe 7-8 seconds.
Yeah.
And before you have time to figure out what just happened,
She
starts running from and okay. So again, that this woman is a badass because she just killed all those people, and she's afraid of these agents. So what are they capable of?
Exactly. And then you see her jump across, and then when the agent jumps across, the policemen see it, and they're like, "That's impossible." And it just it gives a little bit more mystery about what's happening. What kind of world are we in?
Yeah, that's another thing, is that you're showing us this. And yeah, obviously, I'm going to have questions. So hopefully we can get to those questions pretty quickly. And one thing I love about this movie is it doesn't give you them right away. You kind of have to sit through quite a bit before they tell you anything.
Yeah, you find out with Neo.
You're a good. Yeah, that's what's great about him, is he's like you. He's being taken on this tour, same as you, and you don't find anything out until maybe a good half hour into this movie.
Yeah, it's a basic hero's journey. They give you a character that really doesn't have a whole lot of personality, so that you can place yours onto him, and it helps you relate more to the story about what's going on. Unless you feel it's more impactful when you find things out.
Yeah, and that's we talked last week about the boys. That's the Huey character.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that is. And so all this goes down. She's trying to get somewhere. She gets to this phone booth, and the phone is ringing. She runs to it. And then she puts her hand on the glass. I thought she was dead. I'm like, okay, well, that was a character, I guess. Whatever. And then they're saying that, she got out. What?
Got out of where?
Where what? Got out of what? Was it Superman phone booth or something? Questions! And then we get Neo.
Asleep at his computer. And then the little words come across the screen. It wakes him up somehow.
Yeah, that's not there was no alarm or something. It just said, "Wake up, Neo." Huh? That's a little nitpick. I'm like, what woke him up about that? Like, it wasn't, he was listening to Rob Zombie or something. I don't know what he was listening to, but he had headphones on.
I guess they woke him up on the other side, but it really doesn't matter. Then the knock at the door with I don't know what to call these people.
Choi and DeJour.
Yeah.
Those are their names.
Okay.
Trust me. I know. I've owned this series at least 4 times because I keep losing copies.
But I love how they just straight up say, "Your personal savior, man.
My own personal
Jesus Christ." Really? You're just going to say it.
And this is what... And I've watched. I know you've watched them too. We watch many reviews, many takes on all kinds of different movies. We subscribe to YouTube channels where people review things. And one of our favorites talked about The Matrix, and he stores his money and hacking software in not the Bible, but simulacra and simulation, which is what many people think that this movie is based on, which is garbage. It is garbage philosophy.
Yes, it is,
and it should not be taken seriously by anyone.
It's pseudo philosophy. It's very vague. you basically you just invert something basically.
Yeah, and that's God. That's
this
weak.
This entire series is based upon that, and when they start to try to get deeper into it, it kind of falls apart on itself. Because I thought the first film was a little, it was a nice little action film.
It was, it's one of my favorite movies.
It's one. I can still watch it to this day.
Oh yeah,
it's very entertaining. The story's simple. He's the one, and he's got to find out, and he doesn't believe, but now he believes, and it's just entertaining to watch that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've moved at least 4 times in the last 10 years, and every time I move, I lose my copy of The Matrix because I always lose something, but it always has to be that damn movie. So I actually went home to Florida not too long ago, and I found my old Blu-ray copy of The Matrix. I stole it from my mom.
Oh, nice.
This is mine. This is mine because this Blu-ray copy belongs to me. That's one of the first DVDs I ever bought was The Matrix. So, blah blah blah. Some stuff happens. Trinity shows up at this club. They've apparently been watching him, and cut to Neo's late for work. And this is something that I actually thought was. I don't know if they did it on purpose or I'm just digging too much into something that isn't there, but he's sitting there talking to his boss, and his boss is saying stuff like, you think you're special, and somehow the rules do not apply to you. Very, very keen part of dialogue if you focus that later on in the movie. He is special. The rules do not apply to him.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know if the Wachowskis are smart enough to give that any thought, or if I just picked that out of thin air.
I'm going with the opinion that they just used the trope,
right?
That old trite little thing, and it just kind of tied in. If you think about it, I don't think it was on purpose.
Okay, yeah, because I've seen their sequels, and I don't think they had anything planned out later any further than 20 minutes.
No,
like
they didn't.
No, because if you watch if you watch the sequels, it's like some stuff happens, and 20 minutes later, oh yeah, okay, so what happens next? Like they're just making this up as they go.
Well, yeah, they are. It proves itself later on in the beginning of the third film. But
yeah,
when you start watching the sequels, you can tell right away that they don't have an outline.
No.
There's no structure to this story whatsoever, and there's so many problems in the storytelling. Things don't make sense. They bring up plot points, then drop them immediately. Get used to that crap.
Oh, yeah, and we'll definitely get into that, because I have a huge problem with the beginning of Revolutions. It is
No,
stupid.
so do I.
It is stupid. So, some stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
We finally get to actually sit down and meet Agent Smith, and this is where I don't know if I didn't place at the time that he was also in Lord of the Rings, but I'm like, this dude is awesome. When I was watching this the first time, like, Hugo Weaving is the man in this particular interrogation scene.
His speech to Morpheus is fantastic.
Oh, I love it. And his speech to Neo right here. He's like because I think it's always when he takes his glasses off, he's basically telling him, we're not trying to intimidate you. We want to work with you, and just like we're not bullying you. Just help us out here. And then Neo gives him the finger.
Yeah.
He puts the glasses back on. He's like, well, we tried. So
have it your way, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, you're going to help us whether you like it or not. And they bug him. Which that scene, I watched it as a kid with my cousins, and I didn't get it at the time. But that scene scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Where he closes his mouth and they put like the scorponok or something in his stomach. That was disgusting.
Yeah, that's like fears of mine, like having your mouth completely closed and then somebody going into your belly button. No,
I'm sure I've had nightmares about that.
I probably have to.
Yeah,
I'm glad I've forgotten them.
And then we meet APOC and Switch, which if you didn't know their names, fuck them. They're not that important.
No, they're not.
And then we meet Morpheus, the man, the myth, the legend in this movie.
Just in this movie.
Because the next 2 movies, they treat this character like the biggest backseat character ever.
They waste him, dude.
Such a waste. But in this movie, oh my God, he could lead men to their deaths with his speeches and his charisma. And Did you know he almost was played by Gary Oldman?
I did not know that. I knew the Will Smith almost played Neo.
Yeah.
But I didn't know Gary Oldman almost played Morpheus.
With those two, I kind of would have enjoyed it too. Will Smith and Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
But with Will Smith and Lawrence Fishburne, I don't know how I'd have felt about that, because you have Morpheus here trying to be, this badass, authoritative, slow speaker, and Will Smith just trying to be one-lining the entire thing. Yeah, this would have been a totally different movie, by the way, if Will Smith was Neo, because he would ad-lib so much of this movie, it would be annoying, and I would hate it.
Yeah, he would have Will Smithed it to death.
Yeah, and there are some Will Smithings where it's enjoyable. I find Wild Wild West to be a guilty pleasure. It's not a great movie, but when Will Smith is Will Smithing it up in that movie, that's fine.
It's hilarious in all the wrong ways.
But when he's Will Smithing it up in iRobot, it's annoying.
When he's Will Smithing it up in anything else that's serious, he just does. He can't help himself.
Yeah, but when he's Will Smithing it up in Hitch, fine, love it. I like Hitch. It's a good movie.
But we digress.
Yes, we do. Right. And then, gives them the option, red pill, blue pill. I'm not going to outline the entire story. I swear to God. I'm just getting to the main things. Red pill, blue pill. Takes the red pill. And this is where, on multiple viewings, I start to understand where Cypher is coming from.
Because he lied.
He basically does not give him the entire truth. He gives him an option and doesn't tell him what's on the other side of that option.
Yeah, he manipulates his curiosity into choosing what he wants.
Exactly. And that is where I think Morpheus is kind of a dick.
Yeah, in a way.
I understand he's doing what he has to do to save his people, but Cypher was right when when he's got them all like puppets on a string. He says he lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If you'd have told us the truth, we'd have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass. It makes perfect sense. Why would I want to live in this shithole, eating what did APOC call it, a bowl of snot?
Yeah, the bowl of snot.
And when I could be like somebody famous, somebody like an actor or something, and he even said, I don't want to remember a thing. I want ignorance. I want to be put back because this place sucks. All I do is what he tells me to do. That was his motivation, and I got it. I 100% got it.
No, he's a very understanding villain. It's just, it's too bad it's not more interesting than that.
But at the same time, it kind of is just the right amount because,
again, the thin veil that this movie has.
Yes, because I totally get it, and it worked for me.
Yeah, it worked for me back when I saw it, and it still works for me now. There's just little things about this story that kind of get to me. They bother me a little bit.
Sure.
Like the part where they say that Trinity and Neo are in love. When do they ever show that? They don't. They just tell you.
She brought him dinner once. So
yeah, one time. Yeah, and apparently he never brought Cypher. She never brought Cypher dinner. So
yeah, and that was a big thing apparently.
Yeah.
I believed Cypher and Trinity had a thing more than her and Neo.
Yeah, they had more chemistry than the other two.
Definitely did. So he takes the pill, which we find out is a trace program, so they can find him in the fields, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but basically, I love how they do it. They basically have to make him appear like they don't want him anymore, and they just throw him away. They just garbage.
Yeah.
And then they find him, and this is probably where I'm going to stop. Explaining the entire movie to you. What I loved is he's like, "Welcome to the real world." What? And then he's pale as hell, looked like he'd never seen the sun, and his muscles have atrophy. And he's like, "Why are my eyes so heavy?" Because you've never used them before. I was like, "Stop, slow down. I need an adult. I don't know what's happening in this movie. This movie is all over the place."
Yeah, the twist that occurs in the middle of this film is very memorable.
Absolutely.
It's one of the best twists I've ever seen in a film.
Yeah, and that's why I hold this movie in such high regard as when it comes to its sequels.
There's so much that happens in it. It's exciting, and it's just a good time.
Yeah.
And it changed so much in cinema. It was an inspiration for a lot of filmmakers. A lot of films right after that for a few years had the bullet time in them.
Oh yeah, I could think.
That was everywhere.
I'm thinking back to Scary Movie had bullet time.
Yeah. So did Shrek.
So did Shrek. So, all right.
We got to get into the two turds. And we're going to start with Reloaded because...
Well, not just yet. Because after all this gets done, then we get into some of the best scenes of the entire movie. I'm talking the Kung Fu fight with Morpheus, which was awesome. That fight could have gone on another 4 or 5 minutes, and I'd have been just fine with it.
The training sequence?
Yes. Yeah. And I love that you could just download crap in your head. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty awesome idea.
And then probably one of the best scenes ever put on film is Morpheus gets captured, and Agent Smith is interrogating him. I love that speech. I love it to death. And then the second best scene in the entire movie is the lobby scene.
Yeah.
Which, like, another 10 minutes I could have watched that. I think it was so awesome. I could watch it right now on YouTube. Just watch that scene. I guarantee you that scene probably has 1 billion hits on YouTube just because it's awesome. You could just watch it whenever.
Yeah, you can. It's a great way to film. It was a great way to film action back then because, like I said, nobody had ever seen anything like it before. They were able to give you the layout of the room and let you know where everybody is all at the same while everything's happening so fast. That's why they're moving so slow, is because everything's happening so fast.
It's the same thing with the the fight in the train station, is that it's such a wide shot that you see everything. You know, there's nothing in this room that's going to surprise you. And then I love they're just standing there and the little newspaper rolls by like it's a Western. They're about to draw on each other. Another great homage to a great genre.
Exactly. And not to mention how heavily inspired these films were by anime.
Oh, God,
This is an anime come to life.
Hell yeah, it is. And then Neo gets shot, and then Trinity is like, you can't be dead because the Oracle said I would fall in love with the one, so you have to be the one because I love you.
When? How?
Yeah, what? Just because you've been probably stalking him and watching him through your little Matrix computer, that's not love, you creep. And...
Was it the one deadpan expression she gave, or the second deadpan expression she gave? Perhaps the third one.
And I understand Neo wanting to bang Trinity because there's only 2 women on this ship, and the other one's dead now. I'm just saying, as far as what a great piece of movie this is, that last little part was stupid.
Yes, it was. We got this. We got massive consequences here.
Yes, because the Sentinels are coming, and Neo's dead. Nobody cares.
Neo's dead, and then the power of love.
That Sleeping Beauty crap.
Yeah, just give me a break. But they ended on a good note with him flying off, which was
so cool. I like, he can do that. That's
he
cool.
can do that now.
Well, I guess because the rules don't apply to him. You go.
Okay.
You go.
We're going to get into the sequels, and I have a lot to say about these pieces of crap. Probably the 2 most disappointing movie experiences of my life, very opposite of the first movie. Just the way this movie opens up, this movie's boring as hell.
Yeah, because...
Nothing happens. What happens? Nothing.
Well, they're not. They don't even do anything for a while. Because first off, they land the ship, and then there's this new guy. I'm like, who the hell is he? What happened to Tank? There were financial troubles, and he was a psycho apparently.
Yeah.
Off screen. So they bring in what's his name? Link. Stupid name. And then you start out this movie by getting all. First of all, why does everybody in this entire movie have to dress like a badass? Like, everyone's got leather, everyone's got on sunglasses.
I don't know.
We get it.
I guess that's how you know they're in the Matrix. I
don't know. I mean, these people wore clothing while they were in the Matrix, so they know what clothing feels like, and not everybody wants to be running around in leather.
Yeah.
It sucks. Okay, maybe wear a pair of shorts. And that fight scene with the agents at the beginning, very dull. It wasn't fun to watch.
Because one of the biggest problems in this movie is that Neo is a god.
Yeah.
He can't be hurt, and you know that, so there's no, you never feel like he's in any danger, so you're not interested in the fight. And none of the fights move the story along at all, by the way. They're just fights.
Yeah, they're just there. Especially the one with Seraph. Because he's
dear God. Yeah.
He shows up and first of all, this guy's glowing gold for some reason, which, come to find out, if you actually know anything about, the lore of the Matrix, he's an angel from past Matrixes. And they just fight. That's all.
Yeah.
I had to make sure you were the one. You could have asked, you do not know someone until you fight them. That's stupid.
It is stupid. But so I guess from here on out, if I ever want to get to know anybody, I got to beat their ass.
Yeah, but I do love Colin Chow, who plays Seraph. Great martial artist.
Yeah.
And props to Keanu Reeves for training his ass off for these fight scenes.
Yes, he did. Yeah, the fight scenes look good.
They look good, but they're stupid.
Because there's no weight behind them, any of them.
Because, like you said, he's a god. In the first film, they held weight because even I didn't know if Neo was the one or not because the Oracle straight up said he wasn't.
Exactly. So
I'm like, oh, shit.
You get this little opening scene, and then they go back to Zion. Oh, my God, Zion. I hate Zion. It is the worst place to be.
They spent more time in Zion in these two movies than anywhere else.
They did, and I did not want to be there.
No.
Because it wasn't interesting.
I didn't care. I liked...
The one chance that you get that they had to tell you about these people and to learn about them and to care about them, all they did was dance like idiots and screw each other.
Yeah, and I liked Zion in the first movie where it was just mentioned a couple of times and there was this mystery behind it.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see it, and even if I did see it, if you notice when they need to go into the Matrix, they say bring us up to broadcast depth, and Zion is near the center of the earth, so they need to clearly get higher up to the surface. Go to Zion, 10 minutes, go back up into the Matrix. Don't go back to Zion. Don't give a shit.
No, we don't need to be there. Because another problem with this movie is that the dialogue, there's no character development in it. You don't learn anything about anybody.
And they're shoehorning in characters that don't even need to be here, like Commander Angry Fuck or whatever his name is, Locke.
Locke.
And the Chancellor or whatever, the old guy. They just sit there and talk for 10 minutes about machines and water filters and boring shit.
I can't help but think that we're plugged into them. No, you're not. Just shut up. No, I don't want to hear this crap.
I don't want to hear your stupid philosophy. Okay, this is an action sci-fi movie.
It's okay to have an overarching theme with philosophy, but when you're just spouting it in dialogue
for no reason,
you're not telling me anything about shit.
There's no reason for this conversation. But one thing I hate the most about this movie in particular is apparently Neo is having these prophetic dreams of Trinity's death. When the hell did he start looking into the future? You can do that? You're just making shit up now.
Yeah, they're making things up as they go.
Because Neo is supposed to only be powerful in the Matrix. That is the point of the one. In the real world, he's just a guy. At least that's what he's supposed to be, right?
Right.
And now he can see the future of the Matrix in the real world. Am I making... What movie is this?
Wouldn't it have made more sense for him to have those visions inside the Matrix?
No, it wouldn't have, because these are still humans with free will to do whatever they want. No computer program can tell you what's going to happen in the future. I'm assuming.
Well, if you look at it from a mathematical standpoint and you have all the factors in, he could see all of that because he is the one. But see, what you have to go in to explain this crap this way because it doesn't make any sense because the Wachowskis don't even know what's going on.
No, they did, and they should. I can't with this movie. And this is just the second one.
Yeah, it's just the second one. The fight with Smith. I hate the way that Smith is used in this.
Oh, you mean the fight with the copy and pasted Smiths?
Yeah.
They looked so bad.
The fight happens for no reason. He just pops out of nowhere with crows flying.
Yeah, like
they might as well flash across the screen. Bad guy, bad guy, bad guy.
Hey, if you could see the future, how come you didn't see that coming, genius?
Are you surprised to see me? No.
Oh,
okay.
Right. Okay. So, what's the deal? I'm the bad guy. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have to fight now.
Yeah. I hated the speech before the fight, talking about purpose or whatever. It's like I
because without purpose, we have no other purpose to have purpose.
And he's basically saying that when Neo exploded him, he knew what he was supposed to do, go back to the source, but he didn't. That makes no sense because you're a computer program. You should not be able to make those decisions on your own. So, and then later he's your opposite, which makes no sense.
No, that's brought out of nowhere.
He's your opposite. No. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm not following any of this.
And then the whole thing about him being able to make choices without understanding them, and they throw so much crap onto this character to move along this stupid story because none of it makes any sense.
And why? So before this whole Smith thing even happens, which has nothing to do with the story at all.
No.
Something that does have to do with the story. He's talking to the Oracle, saying that you got to get the Keymaker so you can go to the source, but the Merovingian has the Keymaker. Okay, got it. Sending him on a treasure hunt. Okay, so why? Just why? If he has to go to the source, why does he need the Keymaker? He's the one. Why does he need keys?
It's a huge problem with this screenplay. Is it runs circles on itself. There's first of all, you find out later in the film that his whole purpose. Thank you, movie.
Yeah, is
to go back to the source
and basically relinquish his power or something.
And it reboots the Matrix. And then Zion can be repopulated. If he has to go there and the machines are depending on him to get there, because that's what's alluded to during the architect's speech, why were they trying to stop him at all?
Yeah, why do they show up at the beginning of this movie trying to kill him?
They're trying to kill the Keymaker. And if that's what they want to happen is for him to get back there.
And one of the agents even says in the car chase, he's looking right at the Keymaker, says, "You are no longer necessary. You will be deleted. But you need the Keymaker to get to the source." What are these agents? This makes no sense.
No, because that's the Matrix protecting itself, but it's not. It's
because the Keymaker and the agents are both part of the Matrix. They are programs. They need each other. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, they do need each other. The whole time they need each other. Oh my God, this movie.
The only program in this movie that I actually kind of can understand is the Merovingian. He's an old program from an old version of the Matrix before the ones and all that. And he just wants power. He's a rogue program. Cool. His wife's name is Persephone. Great. If you know anything about Greek mythology, he's basically the devil.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But you give him one of the greatest intro scenes I've ever seen. I love when they're talking to the Merovingian. He's so smarmy, and he's just sitting there. He's like, "I've sampled all languages. French is my favorite. Just like wiping your ass with silk. I love it. I love this guy."
Yeah, I know.
And he gets such a shit role.
He does. I mean, and that's the thing, though. He's so entertaining to listen to, but what he says has nothing to do with shit fuck.
Because at least he's not talking about purpose. He's talking about cause and effect, which is another stupid conversation to be having.
Why aren't we talking about our characters and how we feel about things and what the story's doing to impact our character?
Yeah, because they don't mention it at all. He talks about cause and effect, basically gives that woman an orgasm or whatever via the cake, and then he as soon as he's done talking, the Keymaker is mine. Well, we weren't talking about that.
No, we weren't.
We were talking about something else. Why did you even have to? You could have saved us 5 minutes of movie just by saying no, go away.
Or how about some stakes involved?
There weren't any.
No. They
basically, the only stakes were, they're in an elevator. It's like, oh, this elevator's rigged with such and such C4. Okay, who cares? They're not going to blow it. We have the three main characters in this elevator. I think you'll be fine.
Y'all had main character powers.
Yeah, you're good. Oh, my God. One thing I actually did enjoy, even though it was stupid and went nowhere, no stakes, but I did enjoy the fight in the chateau, where he's fighting all the people with all the weapons on the wall. It was a nice little fight, but I knew it had no weight.
It was fun to look at, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's all it was. It's just they basically took out the shiny keys and said, "Look what we can do."
Yeah, and that's this movie's whole problem. It's a bunch of key jingling.
Yeah, well. At least they're willing to jingle the keys for you in this movie, because the next one,
Yeah, but before we get into the next one, I want to mention the absolute biggest plot hole, and no one talks about this. I wondered this the first time I saw this movie, is when the architect is explaining to Neo the consequences of him not going to the source.
Okay.
You're going to go back to the source where the Matrix will be rebooted, and you're going to choose from 23 individuals, male and female, to repopulate Zion. If you go through that other door, there will be a cataclysmic system crash, killing everyone connected to the Matrix.
And we're going to kill Zion
along
anyway.
with the destruction of Zion means the extension of the human race. What happens? He goes to the other door to save Trinity, and
nothing happens.
Nothing happens. There is no system crash. Nope. Everyone in the Matrix in the following film is just fine. So he goes back, and then he goes back to Morpheus and says the prophecy's a lie, and if we don't do something, Zion will be destroyed in 24 hours. He never said that.
Not once.
Not once did he ever say that. They completely forgot about it because they weren't having script meetings. They made this crap up as they went. It's the hugest plot hole ever, and it ruins the third film completely.
100%. And so it's... First of all, this entire meeting with the architect is stupid because, first of all, dumb it down. All right, I know you're a sci-fi movie, but don't treat us like we're all PhD scientists. All right, there's a lot of big words in this conversation.
There are, and
it's unnecessary.
It is unnecessary. It's them trying to sound smart. And they even say in the beginning of the speech, some things you will understand, something I say you'll understand, and some things you won't. Wow.
Thanks for that.
You just told me that movie. Really?
Yeah, so
it doesn't matter if I understand this. That's fine because you just told me I'm probably not going to.
If you don't understand it, you're an idiot, is what they basically is what they told you.
Yeah.
So we find out that this is probably Neo's like the sixth one. The sixth one. There have been 5 other ones before him. They've done this whole process. You know, Zion gets too populated. We got to wipe it out. Then the one chooses 23 people, relinquishes his power of the one, starts over. Which is just another system of control if you think about it. The machines are still running things.
It is, but it's a stupid plan.
Yes, it is so stupid. Oh my God, it's stupid. But, you know...
Because, like I said, they needed this to happen, but they try to keep him from doing it, and it's just... nothing makes sense.
At all.
This movie runs circles upon itself, like I said before. And I can't with this film. It makes me... It makes me feel like my brain is going to explode and start oozing out of my ears.
Well, wait till you get to the third one.
The third one is very forgettable. So forgettable.
Really? Because I can remember everything about this stupid-ass movie.
It opens up right... okay, this ends...
The
guy that Smith infected somehow... And he got back into his body on Earth somehow.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
So
that is,
and this is a guy that you barely see.
You see him for 10 seconds
in
Smith
the dark.
Takes him over. I didn't even know you could do that.
Which is cool. He's a virus that he took him over, but to go and hack your body?
Yeah, because you're a computer program. Programming doesn't work when you have a fully functional human brain that fires synapses and has nerve endings. And no. And then
at the end they play their da 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 music when they show the guy's face upside down. The guy that you saw 45 minutes earlier in the film wearing sunglasses in the dark. You don't know who it is.
Yeah, I even had to do that at the beginning. The first time I watched Reloaded, and the ending is like the guy's on the table across from Neo. Who the fuck is that?
You don't know who it is.
Oh, it's the guy.
It's the guy.
The Smith guy. That's dumb. That's a dumb, stupid, dumb idea. Dumb. Okay.
And that's exactly where we start.
So, well, hang on. Why is Neo on the table in the first place? Well, because they got to get off the Nebuchadnezzar, and they blow that up, and the Sentinels are coming, and Neo puts his hand out, and the machines stop. This is the real world, right? We're in the... Am I insane? This is supposed to be the real world, and he can just do that? This movie, I said it before, I'm saying it. You're making shit up.
Yeah, they are. The whole damn time. when he did that, I wasn't like, oh, that was cool. I was like, what did he just do?
Yeah.
How?
And this is less hating as it is holding a movie accountable to its own internal logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're going to establish these rules in the first movie and some part of the second movie, you have to be held accountable for the stupid things that you just make up. That's all this is.
So they're laying on the table head to head. And then Matrix is in limbo. Or Neo's in Matrix limbo.
Which... okay. So Morpheus has them scanning the Matrix for Neo. He's like, he's not plugged in. I know, but do it anyway. Well, his brain functions, they look like somebody who's plugged in. So, he's what is he, Wi-Fi now? he is Wi-Fi. He is Neo Wi-Fi. He can just jack into the Matrix whenever he wants to, apparently.
He turned on his hotspot and boom, he's in.
That's it. And then you meet these stupid people.
Oh, the family?
The family. The most pointless characters in the saga.
I hated this scene.
It was so stupid because you've got a program talking about love and whatever. It's like, love is a word. No, love is an emotion. Neo said it.
Karma's a word.
No. It's like, love is just a word. It's a human emotion. Yeah, Neo just broke it down for you. It's a human emotion. You don't know shit about fuck. I'm cussing a lot to this episode. I don't know why. I also have a bit of a headache.
And then Neo can't use his powers there for some stupid reason. And then,
but you have Wi-Fi.
They go to the Merovingian again, who I swear to God, it's the same speech over again. It's the same speech.
And not only that, Seraph, Trinity, and Morpheus go to Club Hell because they need to talk to the Merovingian, and you have the most powerful program, one of them, in this entire Matrix, bitch out because Trinity has a gun to his head.
Yeah. Everybody there's going to die. Really?
Not if you not if you shoot her first. Because guess what happens? If she dies, you can't pull that trigger.
And then they get Neo back because he had him the whole time and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So they wake him up and he basically says that he needs to go to the Machine City. Well, who told you that? I just do. I need a ship.
I don't.
Screw you.
Yeah. I don't know why I have to go. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there. I just know I have to go.
And
was that the Wachowskis, writing down what they were saying out loud? I don't know what he's going to do when he gets there, and I don't know why he has to go. But he has to go.
But he's got to go. And then Niobe gives Neo their ship, and then Morpheus just kind of says goodbye. So in the first movie, you know that Morpheus has searched his entire life for this person, the one, and you're not going with him because Naomi's going that way. I don't follow that at all.
They wasted him.
Yeah.
So he had nothing to do. My God, he did nothing.
You could have saved Morpheus's character in this scene where he can't go because he's the only pilot that can get him there. But who's the pilot? Niobe.
Mm-hmm.
They put him in Chewbacca's seat.
They did. It's a shame.
They made him ride bitch. They made Morpheus ride bitch. No, foul.
And it wasn't because he had scheduling conflicts, because they filmed these movies back to back.
Exactly.
So no, it was just shitty screenwriting.
Yeah, we've got Jada Pinkett Smith. We gotta get her to do something. What if she took off her shirt and you could see her nipples through her tank top? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That'll keep people stay. They'll sit in their seats then.
Dude, I was they weren't even the machines hadn't even attacked yet, and I was fed up with this movie. The first time.
Yeah, there's so much that they could have done to make these movies better, and they missed the mark in every possible way.
They also forgot their first movie. It was like, oh, maybe we should watch the first movie and see what we can do from there. The EMP is the only weapon that we have to fight against the machines. And then you get to Zion, and psych, no, it's not, because they've got mechs.
Yeah.
Awesome looking mechs, but they've got mechs
that have no blast shields.
None whatsoever. It's just like It's like the mech from Alien. Like, all you gotta do is just go right down the center.
Yeah, just hit the guy.
Yeah, that's it. Like, why? What?
They have EMPs and energy weapons. And they're putting Gatling guns with bullets on everything.
That's the shittiest designed robot I've seen in a very long time, man.
It's so laughably bad. I can't believe
how dumb they are.
Yeah, I'm in awe of the level of. I don't want to say incompetency, because the Wachowskis could make a movie better than I probably could. I'm nitpicking someone who actually has talent.
Sure.
But in the end, when you watch this story play out, you can tell that it's almost like these movies were cash grabs.
Yeah.
New Line said, make more. And okay, we'll make more. We'll just write it out and things will happen that we don't understand and the audience won't understand.
I don't even want to get into the fight at Zion because it's so long and
it's most
out.
Of the movie.
It's a good hour of the movie, and really nothing happens.
And
they just keep showing it.
And also, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they just keep cutting back to it. Nothing has happened. They're doing the same thing they were doing 5 minutes ago. No one cares.
They make a whole big deal about the kid that has to lay down covering fire so he can go get the bullets and take it to the missile launcher or whatever, and then they save the babe. But guess what? It doesn't matter because they take it anyway. Everything builds up to no payoff.
Absolutely.
That's these two sequels in a nutshell. Is all they do is build up and take it away from you. Mention something, we don't talk about it anymore.
And they're so they even another thing. I mentioned the mechs. Guess what else has guns? The ships! The ships have guns? Are you kidding me?
Every one of them except for the Nebuchadnezzar, apparently.
Apparently so. So, a good hour and a half go by, and we finally get back to Neo and Trinity. And Agent Smith snuck aboard their ship, gets Trinity hostage or whatever. Neo lays down his arms. Throws Trinity in the hull. Things go haywire. Neo gets blinded by an electrical cable.
How long does it take him to realize that this is Smith?
I know. You could. I'll give him this. That dude does a hell of a Hugo Weaving impression.
Yes, he does. I mean, shouldn't it have given away the first time he called you Mr. Anderson?
The only person who's ever done that.
You didn't get that the first time. How many times do you have to say it? Oh my God. All
right, so Neo gets blinded, but don't worry, because he has fire vision. Okay, stop. I understand that it's a whole, I can see the machine inside you, but that should only work inside the Matrix, because this is the real world. Unless you're telling me that you have Wi-Fi, just say it. Don't treat me like an idiot.
Guess what wasn't a thing back when these movies were made? Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't around yet.
I forgot about that.
So, no, there is no excuse for it.
So, Neo's fire vision or whatever. So, they get to the Machine City and they just start unloading all these weapons on them. And Neo just puts his hand up, makes them explode. Whatever. Saw it already. Didn't care. Hated it the first time.
And then the tentacles come through the ship, but they turn into fire vision.
Yeah.
In the real world, and he doesn't get hurt. Why does it? Why can't he do that for Trinity?
I don't know. But and then
she's stupid. Smooth dies.
And because they take the hovercraft
over the clouds.
Hovercraft. One more time.
Hovercraft.
Lose them in the clouds. What? Okay.
In the clouds.
And another thing, how long does it take Trinity to die? I'm like, good God, wrap this up.
You can't die, Trinity.
Yeah, well, this ain't the Matrix. You know do-overs.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not that good of an actress.
Yeah. This movie needs to hurry up. I gotta pee.
This is the most emotion I'll ever give you.
All right. And then we meet the Deus Ex. Really, movie? Now you're just fucking with me.
Yeah.
And he's like, the machine's like, what do you want? Peace. Okay, cool. now this actually makes a little bit of sense. Just a little bit. You're going to basically the machine god saying, we want peace. I understand it. I understand. It's very simple. Don't fuck this up. And then he goes into the Matrix. And they just Dragon Ball Z their way through the entire thing.
They do. In the rain with only one Smith.
Which is stupid. Why?
Because they blew their load in the second movie.
Pretty much. So, I actually... There's this one part at the end of the fight where, because that's the Smith that took over the Oracle.
Yeah.
And the Oracle kind of takes over a little bit and says, everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo, or whatever she says. And he's like, what did I just say? Like, that was the Oracle taking control, letting him know what you need to do. Basically, let him take you so the machine god has basically a connection to Smith so you can destroy him. Got it! But that fight you gave us before really didn't make me want to care. I didn't listen to a single word after this stupid fight. I'm like, okay, so they're basically just Goku and Frieza up on Namek.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because he throws him and makes a crater in the damn ground, and he just gets up and wobbles a little bit.
Yep.
He's like, so he can't be hurt.
Yeah, because you explained that the rules do not apply to Neo, and yet he's actually getting hurt. But I understand you said what happens in the Matrix happens to you in real life. Like, the body can't live without the mind, but this is somebody whose mind is so superior, it shouldn't even do that. But you know what? We're the Wachowskis. Fuck you. You're going to watch it.
Not many people did. This movie bombed hard, and everyone let them know that they did not like it. I know I certainly did.
I didn't tell them, but I'm telling them now. Hey, if y'all can hear me, Wachowskis, you done fucked up.
Yeah. You're great people. You do lots of you're wonderful philanthropists and great civil rights leaders, but
don't screw this up.
You mess with my movie.
Don't screw up the fourth one. Actually, you know what? Just stop.
No, they're going to mess up the fourth one.
Stop right where you are. Don't do it.
You can't fix this mishmash.
There's no story they can tell me that I'm going to enjoy, because Carrie-Anne Moss has already signed on to play Trinity. Correct me if I'm wrong, Seth, but I'm pretty sure she's fucking dead. I saw it.
Yeah, and I saw Neo die too.
Yep.
So what are we doing here?
I don't know. There's not a story you can tell me that's going to make sense or make me happy.
It's just going to continue their cavalcade of shit, and I this is just a bad idea to even continue this, because you saw what they did before.
Yeah.
I can't stand those two movies. They piss me off. They're insulting. They're insulting to my movie-going intelligence, and I don't like it. The story structure is just... There is no story structure.
No, and then some stuff happened, and then
we fight.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, hey, how can we get to the next fight? I don't know, just make shit up.
Yeah.
Hey, we could have one guy just fight him just because you don't know somebody until you fight them. Fuck it. That's not even an excuse.
Oh, one thing that always makes me laugh, though, is the way the Keymaker talks.
I'm trying to remember.
How he explains things.
How do you know
there is a
that?
building. In this building, there are rooms. In these rooms, there are many curtains. In these curtains, they're behind them are windows, and the windows will open if you. What are you talking about? Stop!
And then they beat you over the head with it again. How do you know all this? Because it is my purpose to know. Shut up! Shut your fucking mouth! I think, all right, as long as we're done talking about the Matrix, I think I'm done cussing.
Yeah.
God, I hate those movies.
Me too.
But I love the first
one, but the second two can absolutely
go to hell.
Go to hell in a handbasket.
Well, I think it is about that part of the show where we get to talk about next week.
Oh boy, next week.
Okay. And we did not know what we were going to talk about until an hour ago. Well, not an hour ago, because this podcast has been going on for literally an hour. But yeah, this is like an hour before the podcast started. Like, what are we going to do next week? We didn't hang out last night. So this is one of my favorite things ever. We talked about how Star Wars shaped us as adults. Wait till you hear what we have to say about Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball in general. Just Z, Kai, Super,
maybe a little bit of GT if you liked it. It's like I'm that's the segment I'm going to curse the most.
I didn't watch much of it, but
dude, you're not missing a thing. It is if you love Dragon Ball Z, it is an insult.
For what I've seen, it was. I never watched it much of it. But.
So that is what we got for next week. I'm so excited. I can't watch all of it in a week, but
no, we won't have to.
We won't have to, because we're huge fans of Dragon Ball Z Abridged. I used to own the DVDs, and I've seen them enough times. I think I got this.
Oh yeah, we got it.
All right. So we'll hopefully see you next week.